Okay, so by chance, I ended up with an srt4. I will say that this is the most I've ever paid for one of these to part out. Probably, well, one that's wrecked and damaged, that's rusted this bad, we'll just say. So the issue was, the reason why it cost so much was to keep it in America, and that's why it's here. So I mean, I'm doing my part to support these cars and this hobby and keep as many parts around for everyone so that they have them when they need them. So we're going to be parting this car out. I'm just going to do a quick walk around. We're going to take a look at it and see what we have. All right, well, here's our quick walk around. Back bumper is actually pretty nice. All the way around. I'm going to say driver stuff's probably no good. Doors and stuff are probably just going to be good for parts. Fender's going to be good for parts. We've got some scrapes here on the bumper cover itself, but we have good crosshairs. There's nothing cut across the bottom that I've seen. Everything is all original. This core support will probably be cut off because it is in good shape. We do know it starts. We're going to be doing a compression test on it, and we're going to put it up and check out our transmission. The turbo feels good and tight. Pulled that off. We do have a faulty upper motor mount, but with stock motor mounts, that's pretty typical. Passenger side, we actually have a really nice looking fender. The hood, a little separation here and here. It's just the, looks like it's just the seam sealer. The worst part is we do have a small dent right here. Other than that, this hood's actually very nice. I think it just got bumped, probably at the auction would be my guess. There's a nice set of vacuum lines here. Hopefully we can get all them off and they're intact. So I'll be able to pass that on. You know, cow panel's nice. I mean, this thing has a lot of nice parts on it overall. And then you can tell that this is one of them ones that wasn't, how would you say it? Hacked up. Someone was getting inside of it, doing all kinds of stuff. Very nice dash cover. We have good pillars. It seems to be people want them right now. Original radio, cassette and CD. We have a nice radio bezel, vacuum boost gauge, Mopar short throw shifter. You know, this thing should have some good shifter cables. We do have a matching key set along with a stage 1 ECM in this, which is actually pretty cool too. Everything, it just blows my mind. Everything is here for this front end except for the side marker. It's just amazing that there's no damage to this, other than, I would say this is probably the most damage to the bumper cover right there, that little bit. But you wouldn't even see that. The rest of the interior in the car's not exactly the best. I was hoping that the carpet was good. I don't know why they vacuum these things out, but we've got a little bit of heel wear. Driver seat, quite shot. Even here, that's a new one. Rear seat, yeah, it's a little rough. Usually don't see that either. Something bad must have been sitting in the back seat of this thing for a long time. Looks like we got our floor mats back here. I did have this trunk open. The trunk actually looks pretty good. No rust. Typical cracks on your third brake light. We have our skirting right here, which has a crack. It's fixable if somebody needed it. We have a wheel. Looks like I would say probably a truck actually hit this thing parked, which is probably why this was totaled out, because I would assume the person that had this probably did not have insurance on it. But you can see the rubber all over the wheel. Actually chunked the tire, which is probably why it's got the spare on it, so they could move it around. But we'll get this thing up. See if we got some, bore the exhaust on it, bore the cap back. We're going to get this thing up in the air. We're going to take a look at the bumper cover a little bit more, like I said, and do the compression test. Okay, so we're going to run red car through the gears, to show that the transmission's working. And I think I did a quick look underneath at the other stuff. I was able to get rid of a few parts already here, but let's check this out. Here's our shifter. Let's start this thing up. It's probably gonna have check engine light. I have all the boost solenoids unplugged, but first gear. I know it's probably hard to see, but right there. Okay, we're in first gear. And our wheels are spinning. So everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Next up, I'm going to air this garage out, and we're going to do the compression test. And then I'm just going to work on pulling everything apart, showing you guys what some of the parts are. This was another rear harness I had pulled out. Somebody thought they needed. This ended up being bad because it was rusted at the bottom, but we've got some parts here. I keep these in the attic, so we're gonna get the rest of everything also here. Compression test is next. Okay, so number 4. We have we'll just say 140. Okay. 135. But our battery's starting to die on us. I was hoping it was going to be good enough to make it through this. We only got 2 more. We got our jump pack ready to go. I do have the terminals loose also. Okay. Make sure you can see this. All right, 3 bumps. The butter, about 145. Alright, 3 bumps. And that's our 140. Let's try this one again since we got a battery on here now. All right, that was actually a little better. 145. Now, not bad. The other motor I did had 150 across, so this one I'll probably sell a little cheaper, just based on that and the fact that I can actually, this looks like it's never been out from what I can tell. When I pull this out, I'll actually be able to know. Right now this thing is showing 172. So it's kind of hard to not call this engine with 172K. And it's a 2004. So, unless I see anything different when I'm pulling this apart, because you know, I mean, you can really tell when you're in here. Looks like nothing was apart on the turbo. Honestly, I don't know if it was even it could even be on the same stock clutch. The thing of it is whoever had this car, I'd really like to know how many owners were on it. The only way I would know that would be if I ran the VIN. But it's not hacked up. There was not a bunch of people in here doing stuff that they shouldn't do. Everything was put together right. I would say whoever had it, they did the ECM and the exhaust and the blue plate pretty much when this thing was brand new. But outside of that, there's not really much anything done to this car. And we know it runs. We know the trans shifts like it should. So let's get this thing apart. All right, so we're actually getting some leeway here, as you could say. You know, get to check out the front core support. This fender here is about ready to come off. Everything is good and straight across the bottom there. Let's check out the bumper cover. Very nice. Very nice specimen, shall we say. This is what it's supposed to look like from the back. No cracks down and across the bottom. This lower support is here. No cracks here. No damage right in this area. There's our VIN plate. Screens. No damage. They're there. Our nostrils are installed the way they're supposed to be. I think I'll just do a video directly on this front bumper. Crosshairs uncut. Emblem. But in here, after more looking, this was seamed here, but I don't think it was seamed for this. It kind of looks like it's a seam here per se, without getting into this more. When we come across here, I removed the inside, and you can see we have a big dent or bend crease here and up around our tail. Look at how well the tail light was sealed. It's bolted in. We have this big gap. They didn't even replace the seal in the tail light when they redid this, whoever did it. So that allowed this to get water here. This is actually dipped down and bent that there. There was water laying in this trunk, so that's why. Take a look here. We got primer overspray on our strut and up through here. This one was busted off, and they had made a nut and bolt go through there. So, I mean, I can see here we had some body work. It looks like they actually did some wet sanding. There's sanding scratches. I don't know if the light's picking that up for you. So we had that going on right there. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it was bent pretty good. It, man, it might have been hit here. The back, replacement taillight, look. Junkyard numbers on the bottom of that. Nothing looks like the lower rail was hit. But there's stuff like this hiding all the time in cars, and you don't see it till you actually pull the stuff apart. Let's look at this over here. You have to remove the lower skirting. So we got a pile here, but look at this. Outer Inner. Oh man, there's the inner. That's bad. You know, here's part of the pinch rail. It's actually still kind of solid right in there, but when I pulled that off, everything just came with the side skirt. So we had simple rocker removal. So just a little quick update. Still working on getting stuff pulled off of this thing. We got our pile going here. Driver's passenger front skirt was okay. Driver can be fixed. I got room, so I'm just going to keep it. Driver door panel was actually no good. Very nice washer bottle. Headlights are junk. We'll probably pull the seals off of them and see how we make out there. But let's get some more stuff taken apart here. All right, since I don't remember where I ended off, we got the red cart back in. We're actually going to get the engine out of this thing here today. We did get to see the compression test. It did work for the transmission going through the gears. There's a lot of stuff on here that is just worn out, no good, and junk. So seats are out. Got everything out in the back. Just a lot more stuff is garbage than I thought was going to be good. Still trying to determine if we're going to chop off our roof. Our dash is about ready to come out. I'm going to save up some of these bolts in here. It's always good to have some of them because, well, we're getting anything organized. So this hit here actually ended up, if you look, see how it's kind of dirty here? It's kind of how you can see it's dirty. And then this looks like it's kind of more clean. This right here is actually stressed right through here. So I'm going to say that this spindle's probably bent more than most likely, or at least seen some stress. And then we got some rusted spot here. So this strut in the front is probably absolutely no good. But we're getting ready to get all this apart. Hopefully that doesn't inconvenience us too much getting this axle out so that we can get the transmission and stuff pulled all in one assembly. Like I said, we're working on doing that now. We just got all of our fluids drained. Both of these doors over here actually look pretty good too. Well, when you get started, you get started. And, well, we got everything disconnected. The motor's down. We already had the exhaust off, so we just pulled this pipe this way, so it'll make it easier to get these bolts off. We can actually look at the back side of this. I'd say this manifold looks pretty good. No cracks coming through the top. Everything did look like it was pretty much all original. But we do have quite the mess to clean up. We got a lot more yet we got to take out of this. Was working on getting the front harness out of the car. So that puts us down to, you know, we're getting the dash out right here. And then here's our whole front core support that we cut off. All in one nice unit. Aprons are reusable. Typically, you know what I mean, I don't replace them if they got damaged rails, but everything's here if someone wants to do that. I just wish there was some kind of a replacement for these other than having to buy that stuff and stick all that other stuff on there. That's such a pain. But everything's here. It's apart and it's one giant mess. So just figured I'd give that update. I'm gonna decide what else we're gonna do, whether it's cutting the top off. We're gonna get everything else out. We'll get everything cleaned up. I'll try to do a review of what I actually got that was good, and what was tested. I mean, it looks like these power steering lines, look how clean this undamaged the cooler is, so we'll probably keep that. This lower cradle here looks like it might be pretty good. I mean, it sucks that this got bent. The control arm might have a little bit of bend to it. Like I said, that spindle will be good. That stuff I'll pull off after this thing's out. But I might actually drop this lower cradle if it comes out. As much rust as was down through these rockers, everything did pretty much unbolt quite easily. So I mean, that was a big plus. All right. Well, finally got an empty garage. Just moved this thing out of here. We're gonna take a quick look at it, but we do have quite a bit of mess to clean up. I mean, we still have some of the car just like making its home. Little pieces here, little pieces there. The front fuse box harness was actually pretty decent looking. We just got the tranny separated. And we've got some other parts sitting over here. I guess I can kind of go over a list once I get everything going over to show what I actually got from this and some of the money that we actually got out of some of the parts. Is parting any of these out anymore worth it? Man, that's a hard one to call, but let's go take a look at the car. Like I said, we still got core support and a couple other things yet. All right, so here's the car. Sucks, the carpet not perfect. It seems that people that want parts now are very picky, even if they have no rocker panels. They want perfect parts, or they want stuff that's in color. So it's getting harder to find cars that are nice with very nice color panel parts. I gotta get the rear wheels off of this, so I'm probably gonna pull like the rear cables. This front suspension member piece actually looks to be pretty rust free, so I'm going to be pulling that. This strut here is no good, and so is the spindle. Everything else looks like it's good. It's weird that the control arm looks good. It looks like it was just a top hit that was like pushed in. That's why it bent this in a direction going that way. Could have saved the windshield and the roof. Got a couple coins up here, not that it matters. Just not much, you know, in the way of good rotted frame rails, rotted rear bumper. Just very, very rough car. All right, I'm gonna probably make one more video in reference to this, going over some of the parts, but this pretty much showed a lot of stuff. See ya.